Trip TV Burp. Britney Spears celebrates that new haircut. Pat wins light switch shootout on Eastenders.
Thanks for wasting my time.
Oh, no.
And rattly wine on Coronation Street. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with some trepidation that I announce Australian Princess is back. Yes, Australian Princess, in which 12 ordinary Aussie girls learn how to be a genuine princess. And who is their trainer?
Our story begins in Sydney as the world's most famous butler, Paul Burrell.
Yeah, the world's most famous something, and the word I use isn't butler.
I was the head of Princess Diana's household for many years.
You really? You never mentioned it before. Fancy keeping something like that to yourself.
Gradually, the princess began to trust me more and more.
And I was able to snaffle away a whole transit van full of stuff. Of course not. They was gifts from the princess. Alongside Paul is his partner in crime, expert in princessly things, Jean Broke-Smith. And she seemed to have an agenda all of her own.
You've got a nice face, let's be positive. It's just that the image is wrong.
Yeah, no worries.
OK? She's somebody that I would love to really get my hands on. And I think she would like it as well.
Yeah. Try and concentrate on the show, Jean, eh? As the experts, what of the would-be princesses? Well, what's the most Australian name for a girl that you can think of?
I believe when people first meet me, they judge me straight away as to sort of...
Kylie Booby. Kylie Booby. Doesn't get much more Australian than that. Then there was 24-year-old Amy Manning, who likes dancing in her bedroom.
Hi, my name's Amy. I'm 24. I live in Sydney, and I'm a graphic designer by trade. I love rock music. I love punk.
Oh, grow up. Followed by Leanne Churchill, who fancies herself as a bit of an extreme sportswoman.
Hi, I'm Leanne Churchill. I'm from Warrnambool, Victoria. I'm 30 and I want to be Australia's first extreme princess.
You haven't quite got the hang of that, have you, love? It's the usual thing. They're set tasks and get voted off. The task this week was a rowing competition. I don't make them up. And Paul and Jean were joined by Fergie's sister, and all three of them gave us a song.
Oh, oh, oh.
It's magic. Oh, would you believe that it's magic? There are two groups of rowers, and it's designed to test their ability to work as a team. But at the end of the day, it's just Australian Princess. I mean, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? I mean, in the scheme of things, it's all fairly trivial.
Shut up! Shut up and listen to the leader in your boat.
Yeah. You think you may be drinking too much coffee, Paul? Maybe cut out those 2 cans of Red Bull mid-morning. Well, I must say I have been enjoying Monster Moves on 5, in which large things are moved. This week, they were attempting to transport a German aircraft from the Second World War, which was a little frustrating for them, but there's no need for bad language.
Pat has assembled a team of friends and keen amateurs to help him realise his dream, including his wife, Annette Spaulding, who shares his obsession for this aircraft. They've been coming every summer for 7 years in a row. They even spent their honeymoon searching for the Fokker.
It's a type of aircraft. Childish. Then they showed us how you transport tube trains around. I haven't made this up. This is an actual show. So I'm sure you're thinking, how do they make sure they get the trains in the right order?
What's the easy way of working out the numbers? Obviously, we want to make sure we get the right one in the right place. Yep. The numbers must mean something.
Well, first of all, 65 is the motor car number. 03s is a unit number. But also, if you take this 65 and go down to the next carriage, it's 67, which is the one that runs, it's its stablemate, and they must always stay together. 3 and 4s go together, and 5s and 6, right the way up to 10, because we've got 10 units.
Bingo! you use a 5-digit numbering system. What could be simpler?
There's number 6, and I believe that's the 7th unit up there, which is 10s. So the first one down will be 6-5, then 6, no, yeah, 6-5, then 6-7, and then 7s, 9, 8, 7, just try again, get it right. 6-5, 705, 6-7, 705, 6-8, 6-5, 08, and 6-7.
Surely, as long as you've got the engine on the front, what does it matter? Now, have you ever wondered what a robbery in a joke factory would look like? A bit like that, I suppose. This was Primeval. Yes, ITV's answer to Doctor Who. It's taken 2 years, but they've done it. In which creatures escape from the past into the present via an anomaly. Very frightening, that. The special effects in Primeval are fantastic. Oh, most of the time. It's a puppet! Now, here he is, look. Yeah. You all right there? Spit the dinosaur. Which brings us to our expert of the week from Britain's worst weather on Channel 4.
TV expert of the week.
A whiteout is where the air becomes full of snow swirling around, and all you end up with is a sort of whiteness.
Coronation Street now. And just what does Dev keep down his trousers?
Maybe we could even break open a packet of, Garibaldi, while we fresh out the future of retailing.
A packet of Garibaldi biscuits. Oh, thanks, Dev. There. Oh, there seems to be an extra raisin on that one. Go on, then. Meanwhile, Tracy Barlow was trying to get some money from Steve McDonald. He didn't seem to mind too much. He was flush. He was virtually throwing his money around.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers, Steve. You know what? We make a really good team, me and you, don't we?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Well, 10 quid's 10 quid. And when I've saved up 1,000, I'll be able to leave my wife. Now, you're probably like me. When you're bored, you hook up the dog to the sofa and go chariot racing.
You can't do it every day now.
We all do it. Dog sofa chariot racing. It's actually been considered for the Olympics.
On your marks. Get set.
Get up there. Staying with Corrie for a mo, Kirk had bought Fizz a most unusual gift, an ant farm.
It's a load of ants in a box. I've never seen anything so boring in my life.
Oh, so you haven't been watching Wag's Boutique, then? But oh dear, one of the boutiques has been vandalised.
They smashed the main door in, whether it was done with a sledgehammer or something bigger, but smashed through there. Quite an impact, though, because the glass goes right back to the back wall.
I honestly think it's because somebody's watched the programme and they don't like us as a team. They hate us.
Sorry about that, girls, but it had to be done. Well, there was an awkward moment on Eastenders this week when young Ben started to ask some difficult questions about why people watch Eastenders.
Why? For fun, for entertainment. cruel, isn't it? Laughing at all the poor mad people.
This was Ben's trip to the London dungeons with, oh, what's her name?
Stella? Stella! 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 Stella!
Jean, that's right. Ever wondered what would survive from a nuclear war?
I'm a survivor, darling. If there was a nuclear war, I'd survive it. Me and the Scorpions.
Yeah, just Pat and the Scorpions. And after a while, they would be forced to mate, producing a hybrid Scorpi-Pat, which has all the aggression and cockney fortitude of Pat Butcher, but with the fatal sting of the Scorpion. Very frightening, the Scorpi-Pat. But then, it's been a very frightening week on TV. I was forced to hide behind the sofa when I saw this poltergeist on Haunted Homes.
When Stuart and Christopher were quite small, went in the front room and the cushions were piled up on the coffee table in the front room.
Classic poltergeist. They stack.
Open the door.
It's the cushion monster! But which is more frightening? The Pat Butcher Scorpion hybrid Scorpi-Pat or the cushion monster on Haunted Homes? There's only one way to find out. Fire! See you after the break. Go on, Pat. In there. Welcome back to TV Burp. Richard Hammond gets job as shepherd. Elton John announces new tour. And new evidence on Australian princess that seawater rots your hair extensions.
I just want to prove that you don't have to be a supermodel or...
Isn't it annoying when you park a little bit too far away from the house?
Nice.
Yes, Inspector Moore's spin-off Lewis is back, where the baddie this week was a certain Mr. Platt, who was in a wheelchair, which is tough enough, but even worse when you live in a house with a sloping floor.
Anne?
But it didn't help, he was using a wine bottle to steer it.
We're investigating a murder. Dean Greeley?
We read about that.
Who could be bothered?
He had quite a temper on him, this Mr. Platt. Maybe he was upset that the house was a bit of a mess and needed to tidy up.
Do you want me to clean the study, Mr. Platt?
No.
Sorry?
No! Not now!
All right, there's no need for that, is there? I think I might phone him up and tell him to calm down.
Yes!
Nothing. Love the show. It was quite a long show, this. 2 hours. Do you ever get that thing when at the end of the show, the final shot sums up exactly how you feel? Emmerdale now, and the big news was ex-Page 3 glamourpuss Linda Lusardi joining the village. And she certainly didn't waste any time making herself at home.
I was Mary's nurse. You know, his wife.
Yeah, I know who she was.
Well, I need to get changed.
Into a bikini bottom. The rest of the village were very excited, especially the gents.
Oh, and a white wine spritz, please.
Excuse me, my dear. You look absolute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Linda Lusardi. Elsewhere, plans were at last underway for Tom King's funeral.
I am here now, and I will bury your father, or have him cremated if I decide to, in my way.
I didn't know there were different ways of doing a cremation. Then I looked into it further. I've got the leaflet here, look, Emmerdale Undertakers. Let's have a look at some of the cremation. Well, there's a standard cremation, burnt in a wooden box. There's the wool-pack cremation. The coffin is packed with high explosives, and a light aircraft has crashed into it. Then there's the Bernard Matthews special. The body is flung onto a heap of 140,000 burning turkeys. Beautiful. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week from Sleep Clinic.
TV highlight of the
Remember the farm of fussy eaters I was telling you about a couple of weeks ago?
No!
All right, hold on. There's a copycat show, Freaky Eaters Addicted to Chips, on BBC Three. Yes, chips. It tells the story of Sarah, who ever since she was 3 years old has only eaten bread and chips. Her poor mum and dad were at their wits' end. They've tried all sorts of things to try and get her back onto a regular diet.
I've tried loads of things over the years. Cut a parsnip up to look like a chip. Just various things you just try and sneak into her diet to see if she notices it and she picks up on it straight away.
Disguise a parsnip as a chip. Nice one. Paint a carrot yellow. Get a packet of runner beans and write on it, chips. Maybe what you should do is stop buying chips. Stop buying chips and heating up oil and cooking chips. On this show, we were introduced to nutritionist Natalie, who discovers Sarah's a little anemic and needs some iron. I could do with some iron, actually. I wonder what the best foods are to get it from.
To get 40 milligrams of iron into your diet, you could eat 1 14-ounce steak, 3.5 servings of spinach, or if you really want to push the boat out, 64 pints of Guinness.
I feel a lot less anemic. Problem is, after all that booze, I fancy some chips. Sarah is set a task at the top of the show.
As an incentive to change, Benjamin and Natalie are setting Sarah a challenge. In a month's time, she'll have to try something she's never done before. Go to a restaurant with Darren and order something other than chips.
Yeah, go to a restaurant with Darren and not order chips. So, a month later, let's see how she gets on. The climax of the show. Drum roll, please.
Can I have just... Where's it gone? Just chips with a tomato sauce dip.
She orders chips. It's a great show, that, yeah. Really worthwhile. Take someone who just eats chips and transform her completely into someone who just eats chips. Nick Baker's Weird Creatures now. And this week, Nick was searching for the star-nosed mole of Canada. And, as usual, he starts his journey in the Natural History Museum, where he finds out they're a relation of the shrew. I must say, I do think it's very good of Sir Trevor MacDonald to lend them the top of his head to display their shrew on.
It's got this long little snout.
Good evening, and here is the news. From the Natural History Museum to Canada, to try and attract his mole, he needs some bait, so he pays a visit to Manny's live bait store and meets some leeches.
Look at that. These aren't are these bloodsuckers or these eat snails and other
Yes, they eat snails, frogs, what you call ducks, geese, anything that basically lives in a pond.
Leeches eat ducks and geese. Well, they work in gangs. 2 of them grab a leg each, pull them out of the water. Another 4 leeches pluck the feathers off it. The further 2 prepare the orange sauce. The good news is Nick actually catches his mole.
There he is. Oh, that's great. Look at that. That is the most peculiar thing.
There's a mole in my bucket, Nick Baker, Nick Baker. There's a mole in my bucket, Nick Baker, a mole. This was the last in Nick Baker's series, and I'm really going to miss him. You said you were leaving, someone swept your heart away, and from the look upon your face, I'd say it's true. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? After I've been loving you so long, how am I supposed to live without you? How am I supposed to carry on when all that I've been living for is gone?
Cheeky git.
See you next week.
Coming up next, it's Dancing on Ice. World skating champions Torvill and Dean will be premiering an exclusive brand new routine.
When they'll be performing with Brit Award winners Take That, who'll be singing live in this studio.
The screaming will be unbelievable. And that's just from Holly. Dancing on Ice next.